This is my 2010 GSXR 1000, or more colloquially known as the GSXR, and for the last year I've been riding it on the factory ECU tune. So when this GSXR hit the streets, Suzuki claimed it had a whopping 182 horsepower at the crank. But let's be honest, they always exaggerate a little, so when you factor in about a 15% drivetrain power loss, you're looking at about 155 horsepower to the rear wheel. But that's honestly still no joke. That's enough to make most supercars look like they're out for a Sunday drive. I've taken this bike down to the drag strip before, and even in stock form, with my questionable launching technique, I managed a 10.3 second quarter mile. Not too shabby for a 15-year-old bike. So why the hell did I bother with a tune if the bike's already a missile on two wheels? The real reason? I slapped on a new exhaust and ditched the catalytic converter, which is kind of like putting the bike on a diet. It breathes easier and weighs less. This in turn meant a tune was needed to improve the air-fuel ratio and squeeze out a bit more power and torque across the rev range. And the tune came with a few other little treats, like disabling the fuel cutoff on deceleration, which should lead to a smoother throttle, and the top speed limiter is gone as well. It used to be capped at 299 kilometers an hour, and now it's theoretically able to hit about 315 with the stock gearing, though let's be honest, I'll probably never test that, but I'll never say never. So during the ECU flash, we had the bike on the dyno to make sure that the air-fuel ratios look good, but before we check out the dyno numbers, let's see how the bike rides. Alright guys, how does the bike now feel with the tune? Well, down low the fueling, much better, just pulls from anywhere. Much smoother, just feels really nice to ride now. Super smooth. Before there was a little bit of bogging down low in the RPMs, but now it's just solid power throughout the entire rev range. Let's listen to what the downshifts sound like. Just wants to go. I really should have done this when I got the bike, because the bike is just a treat to ride now. Just down low, feels amazing. And yeah, the extra power, it's nice to know that you got it, but you really don't notice it, at least on the road. One of the really noticeable things though is the off throttle, the engine braking. There's much less of it and it's not so abrupt. It's just slowly rolls off, like it's really nice. Before you chop the throttle and it just, ooh, you'd be thrown forward sometimes. So it just contributes to the smoothness. It's incredible actually. Alrighty, time for the big reveal. We're going to find out just how much horsepower my 15-year-old GSXR 1000 makes. So we had it on the dyno during the ECU flash so that we could make sure that the air-fuel ratios looked good, but let's take a look at the numbers now. So on the graph, the blue line is pre-tune and the red line is post-tune, and the top line shows horsepower and the lower one shows torque. So right off the bat, you can see that we've smoothed out the low end bogging, so that explains why it feels so much better to ride. And the starting power was 154.1 horsepower at the rear wheel, almost exactly what Suzuki claimed from the factory, and after the tune it's making 164.67 horsepower. So we've gained about 10 horsepower, which at the crank translates to about 190, so not too far off today's modern superbikes. Now that 10 extra horsepower isn't exactly warp speed, but it's nice to have extra power, but the true value of the tune was the improved rideability and just all around more fun to ride now. So in the coming videos, we're going to head back to the drag strip and see if we can crack into the 9 seconds, which would just be absolutely insane. Stock height, just the tune and the exhaust. Also heading to Phillip Island, so maybe we can get close to that theoretical top speed of 315 k's an hour. Probably not going to hit it because the straight's not that long, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you for watching. If you want to see how the drag strips and Phillip Island pans out, please do make sure to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one.